If you're like most business owners and you've tried to use AI in one of your workflows and you notice the output comes back is literally trash, output that is unusable, your clients won't accept it, and the content, for example, is really bad, doesn't sound like you. It's AI slop. And a lot of business owners would be let down thinking that AI just isn't there yet and they'd wait for the next model, when in fact, it's not that. AI isn't trash, is that you need to give AI the right intellectual property for AI to actually perform to the level that you would do yourself in your business. And that's what the top 1% business owners do. They look for where they have intellectual property in their business, the frameworks, the mental models, the SOPs, and anything else they could give to AI so AI actually has context and frameworks to implement to get outputs that actually generate value and potentially revenue in your business. So in this video, I'll show you how top 1% business owners actually use AI to generate revenue in their business and how 99% of people can't do that. Okay, for the past 6 months, I've been building with AI, more specifically on Claude Code, and I've built skill systems that actually help me generate revenue. Okay, so I'm gonna go over a quick example on how you can get AI to make you money and how AI doesn't make you money. Let's say we have a task of creating a landing page and you wanna make sales you want to convert. Okay, so you could ask AI, can you create for me a landing page? And what's going to happen is AI is going to create some very generic stuff. Like, let's say for my offer, which is to implement AI into your business so you can get 80% of the work done, or you can build skill systems to get AI employees. If you're familiar with my channel, you probably know what my offer is. But if I were to ask AI generally what I wanted to create a sales page for me, it'll probably look like so. It'll look like transform your business today, unlock unprecedented growth and value. Here's feature 1, 2, and 3. Now, what this would do, this would generate me not that many sales because what I'm offering isn't that clear. So the sales it'll generate will be probably 0, okay? But AI has the capability. So the capability for AI to create a landing page is there. Like the landing page is gonna look nice, it's gonna look good, it's probably gonna be structured well. So AI does have the capability to create a page. Now, when I give AI access to my intellectual property, for example, my methodology, my offer, how I do things in my business, my philosophy, my exact structure on how I create landing pages that convert. I've had some landing pages that converted pretty well. I share that with Claude, and now Claude or AI can then generate a landing page that will help me generate money. For example, not too long ago, I ran this workshop. It was called the Claude Skill System, where you can build Claude skills that chain together and run your business operations. Basically, I was giving a meta skill that would then help people create skill systems, or in effect, AI employees that do work for them. And I got around 12 sales at $100 for a workshop ticket. So this generated me $1,200, and AI generated me this directly because AI created the whole landing page and all the copy, all the text, all the visuals, everything was generated by AI. So it is capable. AI is capable. Now, what's missing is you giving it your intellectual property so it actually performs as if you wanted to do a role in your business. So for me right now, I do not need to hire a copywriter. I do not need to hire someone to create a landing page for me. I do not need someone to write for me my newsletters. I do not need someone to write for me my offer documents, all that, because I have that all stored as a skill systems in my Claude Code. I have all of this intellectual property documented and given to AI so AI can then create these digital assets to help me generate revenue, like so, like this landing page. Now, this is where a lot of business owners get wrong, is they start to think of, okay, I want to get AI to do a complete role in my business. I want AI to be my copywriter. I want AI to be my sales closer or my SDR. What they think is they're thinking at the top of the pyramid, like the top of the iceberg. Okay, so if I take the iceberg, or like a pyramid, let's think of this as like an iceberg. Okay, like right over here, this is the water and like so on. What most people are looking at is AI agents, AI employees, or even like AI automation. Okay, they want AI to immediately do work for them perfectly 100%, which is not reality. Right? They forget to look at what is underneath that's allowing the AI to perform. And what's underneath are these 3 things. It's a skill system, which is how well your skills are documented, how well do they chain together, how well do they trigger, and how much grip of the material AI can get access to at the right time. Context, capability, and tools, and access to assets are very important in order to get AI to do the work correctly. For example, a landing page will probably require access to many different documents. It will have access to my voice, how I write, access to like headline formulas, visuals, how to create visuals, CTAs, like there's a lot of complexity that needs to be eaten, that needs to be documented into a skill system so AI can go through the process step by step to then eventually allow it to create a landing page or a digital asset that'll generate you revenue. Okay, so I can tell you, for me to create that landing page, AI had to have access to a lot of infrastructure, a lot of access to multiple digital assets that connect together to then create a page that generates me revenue. That's what a lot of people forget. So that's where we get into digital assets. So digital assets is what I like to call basically intellectual property or IP, intellectual property. Intellectual property or digital assets are documents in your business that create value. Okay, think of it like your methodology, right? How do you actually do things differently from other business owners? That is a digital asset because that's what makes you different from people. That might be your moat. Okay, another example, let's say your offer. Like your specific offer is different from other people, but it's converting and it works. That is something that's going to generate you revenue. The content you post on YouTube, your content library, that digital assets that will generate you revenue over time because that's what generates leads, customers, clients, and gets people to buy more as well. So think of digital assets as the material that AI would use to do the work. It needs to access these digital assets so it knows how to do things the way that you do it. So if we have skill systems can be created by AI very quickly. Like this is maybe the easiest thing. You can get AI to create a skill system, you can have it route and so on. But the hardest part is getting the digital assets in place, documented enough so AI can actually do the work that you do. Okay, so that's digital assets. So how do you know what digital assets should you document? Well, that's when you should know your business model. You should know how your business is structured. Do you do sales calls? Do you sell via text? Do you do landing pages and so on? So that's where you look for digital assets. Let's say, for example, you do sales call. You can take your sales script. That's a digital asset. Let's say you don't do sales calls like I do. You sell via landing pages. Or let's say you create a lot of visuals, a lot of videos, a lot of content. You then, the digital assets that allow AI to help you create videos. Maybe your hook templates, maybe your script outline, maybe title templates, your thumbnails, all these things you want to think of it. How can I give a template or a digital asset that AI can work on so it has like a good foundation on how it could then run the skill system and then it actually becomes an AI employee at the top. Again, most business owners want this, but they completely neglect what is underneath. You need to focus on what's underneath first. You started the business model, you understand that, you identify the digital assets in your business, then you build the skill system, and then AI can become an employee that could run AI automation. If you've been watching videos about Claude Code and Claude Skills, you already know that Claude Code is different. Most AI tools might save you a little bit of time here and there, but Claude Code can act as your operating system running your business. Now, most business owners understand the potential of Claude Code, but where they struggle is having it actually set up in their business as an operating system to do 80% of the work in their business. So I'm launching a small community where our goal is just that, to help you set up Claude Code as your main business operating system so that you can get 80% of the work done by AI. So here's what we'll build together. Number one, we're going to map out your business. So in 30 minutes, you'll know exactly which parts of your business AI should be running, what to build first, and what in what order. You don't need to map out your business. Claude will interview you and map it out all for you. Step number two is we'll look where in your business can we build a skill system. So a skill system is a network of skills that allows AI to run end-to-end pipelines in your business. So skill systems will exist in marketing, operations, client delivery, and sales in your business. Finally, once we build robust skill systems, we'll then have those skill systems run automatically via a trigger, a webhook, or a routine or schedule. So now once your skill is running reliably, the next step is monetizing and deploying this skill so other people can benefit from the skills you've built and so you can make money out of it. So here's where we'll package your skill systems into plugins. Think of plugins kind of like giving people access to your AI infrastructure that they could rent on a subscription. Now with this model in mind, you're able to onboard as many clients as you want without needing to serve them directly one-to-one with your time. So whenever a problem arises, all you have to do is fix a plugin and that'll fix all the problems for all of your clients at once. So that's the goal in our community, to focus on these 4 phases. If you'd like to join us, I'll put more information in the link below. You'll also get access to these complementary skills in our community, and you'll also get access to support required for you to help you build AI infrastructure in your business. Now, if you're interested in that, click the link below and I'll see you inside. So this is the difference. A lot of businesses will create a skill, and because there's no like material for AI to look at or templates or the way that they do things, AI is going to look at what? It's going to look at training data that is trained on, and then it's going to create output that looks really bad. A good example of this is if you ask AI to create a tweet without training material. It doesn't know anything about your business. You haven't given it like best performing tweets. You haven't given it like a template or anything. It's going to create AI slop. Now, on the other hand, let's say you create a skill, you've documented pretty well, like so, and then you ask AI to create a tweet. You have a digital asset that explains how to create that tweet. Maybe you have a voice doc, you have like a profile of tweets and so on. Now AI can create output that generates you revenue. In this case, generates you traffic, push traffic to your landing page. And if your landing page is good, you get sales and so on. Or let's say you're doing a sales, you want AI to sound like you give it your script. It will know what phase to go through. It will say the right thing at the right time, and it will book appointments for you, just as an example. So your business actually has 24 digital assets. And I got this from Daniel Priestley. So there's this book called 24 Assets by Daniel Priestley. If you haven't read, I highly recommend you to read it. This is probably the cornerstone of how your business will operate, especially if you want an online business that operates smoothly and leveraged. These are the assets you probably want to look at. You can do an itinerary of your business right now, and you can see, do you actually have these assets in your business, or do you have them documented? Because if you have these documented, then you can quickly plug and play these to AI. And a lot of these assets can be used in different ways. Okay, so one asset can be used not only in sales, can be used in operations, marketing, and so on. I'm not gonna go through all of this because it's gonna take us a lot of time, but the 7 categories are like IP, which pretty much is how you do things. So like your content, your methodology, which is kind of like your offer over here, your registered IP, like your frameworks and so on. Brand could be like your philosophy, what you believe in, your identity, what's the identity that you promote, what you believe in, what are you against, what are the enemies, who are the things that you throw stones at. This builds a movement and a brand for you. Who are the ambassadors? What are the case studies that you have? Market could be like your positioning. How do you position yourself from other people? Channels, where do you actually post content? Data is your email list, the numbers that you saved. What are your customers? Who are the people can you actually market to? Do you have access to a list of people that you can contact to, or you have a following on these channels? Product is what do you use for gifts? What do you give for people that are interested in working with you? For prospects, what is your core product that makes you the majority of your money? What are the products for clients that you use on a retention basis for long term? Okay, systems, what are the marketing and sales systems you have? What is the admin systems? What's the operation systems you have? This could be like Notion. This could be like your ConvertKit. What are the systems that you actually use? Do you use Substack? Do you use Slack? Loom? Let's say Loom videos. What are the things that you use that create that system that AI could then plug into? Culture. Let's say if you work with a team, you might have a key people of influence. So you might have someone that is in charge of your team, right? Or you might be the key person of influence in your business. You might be the center of your brand in your business. Sales and marketing people, maybe you have people that you need to get them on a sales team. You have sales material that trains them, management, technicians, and so on. So these are culture documents that you might. And then funding. You might have a business plan, valuation, structure, and risk mitigation. Now, AI can get into any of these assets to help you do work in your business. Let's say you want AI to hop into your CRM and help you book appointments. You're probably going to give it access to your CRM, probably need to give it access to your sales script, and so on. Let's say I want AI to help me create content. I probably want AI access to my content methodology, my registered IP, my identity, philosophy, ambassador, and marketing assets. So I probably use all of these assets to have AI access them when necessary, or potentially even like product. If I'm trying to promote something, I probably need AI to know what product I promote in my business. So you having all this documented allows AI to access it whenever necessary to get proper work done in your business. So if you see your AI employee, or let's say Claude Code, as a video character, then digital assets is kind of like giving AI a superpower or a power upgrade. Let's think of it as an upgrade. Like it upgrades performance significantly. So let's say I want my AI employee to be a sales closer. I can give it some like weapons. So if we try to make this fun, like a video game, I can give it some weapons. So let's say my methodology is a katana, as an example. Or let's say my sales script is a pistol over here, and I want AI to be a sales closer. Now AI can look at the armory, pick up the weapons or the assets it needs, use it, and now it could perform way better. It can start killing the monsters, for example, in the game. It can start performing really well. It's a big upgrade. It's a gear upgrade. So think of it like digital assets as upgrading your AI, and you always want to give it more weapons, more armory, more capabilities to improve the output that it does, so it performs better, and so you generate more revenue. Okay, so this is just a fun analogy I like to use. Okay, so let's go over some examples of how a skill system would look like. And again, if you're unfamiliar with the skill system, I have another video on my channel where I go over skill systems, and I'll drop a playlist below. They'll go over more information on how I build skills and so on. That's on my main channel, so you can check that out. But if you're unfamiliar, I recommend you to watch the video, but we'll go over this on a high level. So let's say you want AI to write a newsletter, okay? So ideally, you'd give it AI, say, hey, write this article for me. AI would have a list of skills that it would run to then eventually create this output where it's a skill for you, right? So in this case, what's going on here is you're doing the first 10%. So in this case here, what's going on here is you're doing the first 10%, and then AI is doing the next 80% for us. And then we go into the last 10%, we do the last edits, we approve it, and ship it, right? But in order to get the 80%, a lot of business owners will start with the skill itself, they create a nice skill, but then we need each of these skills that when it changes each other needs access to a digital asset. So let's say, for example, you capture an idea you want to capture an article idea and you want to validate it. Is this an idea? So the skill number 1 would probably reference an article that you've written before, or figure out like any ideas that you've used before that can be reused in this newsletter as an example. So now that's a digital asset that AI can reference to. Next, let's say you want AI to extract insights, stats, or quotes that maybe you want to insert some case study from your business or like your methodology. Now AI can then reference your methodology so it knows exactly how to position your newsletter in the right way. Or this could be like case studies as well. Let's say you have a case study vault, or like an insight vault as well, where AI can then look at different quotes, tweets, and stuff, where AI can look at other quotes, insights that could be included into this newsletter to make it sound more like you. Okay, obviously there might be some other skills, but this is just for demonstration purposes. Next, AI might write it for you. It'll write the skill, and then through the skill, it will actually reference your voice doc. So you might have like a series of content pieces that sound like that AI can then reference to. Then once AI writes it, maybe AI can then multiply what it can create carousel slides, quote posts, other forms of content. And in order to do that, it needs access to your brand kit. So it needs to know your fonts, your colors, and your style. So that's documented and you're given to AI, so AI can then multiply it. Then finally, let's say AI wants to publish it, you give it access to your posting calendar, and then AI can then reference that digital asset and then can post it and publish it for you. So again, if you look at this, at every single skill, we are giving AI access to digital asset so it knows how to create or how to do that process the way that we do it. Okay, let's say we go into sales outreach like so. So let's say first skill is we want to capture and log a lead into CRM. Okay, first we need to give AI access to a CRM. So we give AI access to CRM, and AI can then learn, okay, does this even exist? Is it documented? We can put in their name, put in their source and their context. So that's asset number 1. Asset number 2, let's say we want to qualify someone. Now we can have a qualifier doc with a scoring rubric, or like a script or a document that teaches AI how to qualify, and AI can use that to help qualify that lead for you. So it can create a score, the intent, and timing for you. Then let's say you want AI to create a CRM. So now you can have AI reference a voice document that sounds like you, and then also let's say a sales flow script, or appointment messaging, appointment booking script as well. So now AI can then reference and then can actually personalize a DM voice, can actually personalize a DM to your voice and to that specific customer or prospect. Let's say you want to pitch then, like they've shown some interest. Now you can send them a VSL with a matched case study based on what they said. So now you can send a VSL, and you can send maybe some custom case studies as well, because AI would have access to the case study vault, which could be another digital asset. And then finally, booking. You want AI to book a call for you, like so. Now you can give access AI to your calendar, which is your digital asset, and then they show up to the call. Again, the same idea here is we want to do the first 10%. Again, the same idea here is first 10%, and then AI does the next 80%. But again, to get the next 80%, we need to make sure we give AI the digital assets. So let's go over another example. Let's go client onboarding. So let's say you close a sale and you want to welcome them. So based on let's say their input, their form input, or the CRM data that they got, you can customize that welcome message to them. Okay. Again, you might have multiple digital assets that are referenced here. Again, a writing skill, or a writing document, a voice document, CRM data, common responses, templates, and so on. You would give that so AI can create a message. Let's say the next step is you want to onboard them on the Slack channel and a Notion workspace. You can have like a template Notion workspace. That could be a digital asset. Maybe have like a welcome sequence. You send them an email day by day, day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on. So let me actually write this down over you. You might have like a Notion template. You might have like a welcome sequence email intellectual property that you use that you send to people when they get onboarded. Maybe setup, you want to build a client dashboard from a template. You can have an operation checklist, how to do things. Scheduling, again, calendar, and then finally deliver, you give them the core product, which is your offer. Okay, because you have it all documented methodology, you know how to deliver it, makes it easy for you. Or you have it documented in like an AI, or maybe you have it documented in like a community, a course. I don't believe in courses, or maybe like a skill system that you share with clients and so on. So the whole concept here. All right, so let's go into monthly reporting. So monthly reporting would look like so. Again, you can see how some of these digital assets repeat itself. Again, any skills that you create, you want to look at what digital asset can I give it so that AI can do this at the level that I would do or a human would do on my team. If you do it this way, then you can actually have AI employees, because now, like what I'm showing you here is actual roles that you would hire for, right? Client onboarding, so instead of having a customer success manager needing to do everything, this AI could do that. Instead of having like an outreach, an SDR, you can have AI do it. Instead of having a content creator, you can have AI do it. Doing full roles in your business as an AI employee instead of human employee. But again, what does it require? It requires a skill system attached to the layer below it, which is digital assets. So how do you find the assets? You want to look at places of what you've already done. What are the work that you've already done? And then you want to extract those intellectual property or frameworks, document those and give them to AI. So first place you can look is past recordings. Let's say you do sales calls. Have you been on a sales calls where you just ripped and it was so good? Or you've been on a streak where you're like closing all the time? You can extract all those transcripts and then create a sales script template and use that with AI. Let's say you don't have much intellectual property. You could look at what's online. What are some YouTube videos? What are some books you've read? What are some workshops you've been to? What are some frameworks that you've come across online that you can then transform that into a digital asset for business? Easiest place to look next is your existing files. This will apply to a lot of business owners. Look at your Google Drive. What are SOPs you've created? Look at your Loom video recordings. Look at your Notion workspace. Where have you created any checklists, any SOPs, templates, slide decks, presentations, Google documents, all those stuff? You want to look at it and how you create a template out of it. Past content helps a lot, especially if you're in content. Look at your top performing posts. What went viral? Look at your best videos you've posted. What were the scripts that you used? You can transform that to digital asset AI could reference to. Client communication. Maybe you've sent some DMs, email threads, Slack history, support tickets, testimonials, feedback. How do you communicate with the client so that AI can learn how to learn your voice and so on? So there's many ways you can find the assets you already have. You don't need to create these assets. You need to document them as you build your business as well. Okay, so whatever comes across you, you want to document that, maybe create a document and then share that with AI and so on. So how do you do that? Easiest way is you can do voice capture, so you can literally speak to AI. I like to use whisper flow. You can just talk to it and then you can transcribe what you have. So if it's head, you can voice capture it and then transcribe it. If it's already documented, then you can just share it. Next thing is you want to give the transcript of whatever documents you're working with and ask Claude or AI to structure it and then figure out how they could create it into a framework, steps, principles, and examples, or some form of mathematical approach. Mathematical or logical approach, because that's how AI works. AI works in more mathematically and logical. Anything that requires taste, judgment, that has gut feeling, you can't just say that to AI. AI will not understand. You have to help it extract the principles. You can describe how it feels, why this feels right, and then you can give it the principles and how you think about it. AI can then potentially use that as taste and judgment. So that's important. Then you can polish and save that into a skill folder as a referenceable file in your skill folder. So most digital assets will be stored in your skill folder as references as well, or they might be connections that are connected to other workspaces. A CRM will probably be connected to a database, Notion workspace, and so on. So digital assets are either a referenceable file, template, an image, maybe a piece of code, a Python script. Those are all digital assets. Or it could be like a connection or some form of database, dashboard, information that AI can access to. Now, if you want to know more about digital assets and how you can implement them in your business, I do have a free cheat sheet that I call the Chief Leverage Officer Cheat Sheet, which I go over 50 plus digital assets that you could potentially implement in your business. And you can use a cheat sheet to identify how ready your business is for AI. There's actually 4 levels of AI readiness. Now, most business owners are around like level 2, level 3. Ideally, you want to get to level 4, which is where you get AI to do like 80% of the work for you. So if you want that, you can click the link in the description to grab that.